A little step back before you can take 2 steps forwards. That's just the nature of life, and certainly in sports sometimes. But Gary Anderson said something, I think we would have last year, that he was having a lot of pressure put on his shoulders, very young shoulders. I think everybody expected too much, and I think he reined that in for a while by his own accord. But by winning the World Cup, that's sort of taken a weight off his shoulders. And well, since the World Cup, he's been blistering. In every metric we look at, he's an elite player now, and he's going to be an elite player. He's going to be a top 8 player, a top 4 player. Don't be surprised if we see him in the World Cup in the Premier League next year, and certainly back in the World Cup, and possibly defend it. He's in a special vein of form right now, and he's got to be considered on our shortlist.
Yeah, he is saying all the right things, and he is doing all the right things up on the hockey as well. But now it is time to get an odds update with William Hill.
In the zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org.
Yeah, joining us now is Alex Dunn. Alex, very good evening. What have you got for us today?
What an evening in prospect. It's fascinating when you look at the odds, because the first and the last match are priced up the same, and the two in the middle are priced up the same. So Van Veen is 2-1 on to beat Noppert, and later on Jonny Clayton is 2-1 on to beat Mike De Decker. The outsiders are 8-5 in that pair. And then in the middle, Nijman against Wade and Bunting against Anderson, both priced up as a pick'em. 10-11 each of 2. There is no separating them as far as the odds are concerned. So we are in for a hunting. There's loads and loads of markets available across the evening. A couple of specials that I thought were worth mentioning. Each player to have at least one bull finish, something that our ambassador Wayne Marble likes to look of, in the Nijman Wade and the Bunting Anderson match. Both priced up at 7-1, which could be interesting. We've seen no shortage of darting drama over the last few days, and hoping for a little bit more tonight. And from a personal point of view, I thought putting Van Veen and Wade together made plenty of sense as a double. As I speak, Wade's just eased out to even money, so that double pays 2-1. And Veen's so good against the countries, can he continue it against Danny Noppert? But so many markets available, I cannot wait for this evening.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to include Gian van Veen in that bull-hitting masterpiece as well, because he is so prolific. But Mace, you were talking before we went on air, don't tonight.
No, if you just went with Van Veen, Wade, Anderson, and then Jonny Clayton, it pays nearly 8-1 with William Hill. So, you know, I always try and find the punters at home a bit of a value bet, and by including loads of the great markets they have out there. But I think we can just play it safe tonight and go with those 4 names.
Yeah, absolutely. I also like the look of Wessel, Nijman to hit the most 180s, but James Wade to come through that match as well. That's a nice little looking bet. But they were the latest odds with William Hill, 18+, begambleaware.org. Thank you very much, Alex.
In the zone on talkSPORT 2 with William Hill, 18+, gambleaware.org.
Right then, let's run you through this evening's schedule before we discuss them in a bit more detail. An all-Dutch darting duel to kick off proceedings as World Cup teammates last month, Danny Noppert and Gian van Veen, go head-to-head. Then we have the 2007 matchplay champion James Wade up against another of the Dutch contingents in Wessel, Nijman. Gary Anderson, well, he's won his last 4 against Stephen Bunting. If he can make it 5 on the spin, I think many of us predict that he will. It'll be another quarter-final for the Flying Scotsman here at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. And rounding off the evening, reigning Grand Prix champion Mike De Decker takes on the in-form ferret Jonny Clayton. James Wade, though, one of the standout performers in the opening round. We know that he's taken part in his 20th consecutive matchplay campaign. That's the highest ever average that we have seen him post up on that Winter Garden stage. I guess one of the pressing questions, Nico, is can he replicate that up there again tonight?
I would like to say that he can't, but the more we say that, the likelihood is he probably will. Very unusual individuals sometimes post-match, and he took exception over the last couple of days to the fact that he's been overlooked. I've said this once, I will say it again. He's not been overlooked. We always give him the credit he deserves. We always tell him publicly how good he is as a
World Youth Champion in Van Veen and multiple major titles amongst the 7 other players. Every one of them has won at least one major title. It can't be a boring night of darts tonight. I think we're definitely going to be looking at an overrun tonight, because I think all the matches could go deep.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And just another thing on James Wade. It's incredible to think 12 months ago, it was unlikely that he was even going to be at the match play. Snuck in right in the final event to qualify for this. Now provisionally back up to world number 5. Yes, it says a lot about how he's performing. Does it also say a lot about how the others in the top 20 in the world are playing? Yeah,
possibly. Listen, we've discussed the ranking system over and over again. I don't have a solution to it, but I certainly believe it's flawed slightly, but not in terms of what James Wade's been doing. He's been the epitome of consistency and picking up a title. He's playing some of his best starts, and let's have it right. He could be in the Premier League next year.
Yes.
There's not a great deal of distance between, say, 5th in the world and 16th spot. There's been a lot of fluctuations in the last 12 to 18 months, and the way the ranking system is right now, and obviously when you put in the £1 million World Championship prize, that will inflate who goes in to the top 4. But I see this fluctuation between 5 and 16 in the world continuing, and it is to the benefit of the people in that window.
And when it comes to his opponent, Wessel Nijman, this is 8th major tournament in PDC darts. Never made it past the 3rd round, despite some monstrous numbers. Do you think that this could perhaps maybe be that breakthrough major for him? It's going to happen.
I don't see why not. The kid's got so much ability, and his confidence will be maybe as high as it's ever been after playing such a wonderful first-round match. But his opponent tonight is the X factor. When you go up against someone like Wade, who is immensely wily, and even though he's not even close to 45 years of age yet, he's old school, because he was around the old school guys at the age of 17 to 22. He's going to play an old school game tonight, and he's going to dictate the pace. He's probably going to try and dictate as much as he can. It'll be interesting to see how much he can get out of Nijman in the first 10 legs.
Yeah, a really intriguing night of action ahead of us. Our first match just about to get underway. It is a Dutch darting duel. John McDonald on stage to introduce the players.
World Matchplay, brought to you by the PDC, and coming to you live on Sky Sports from the iconic Winter Gardens, Blackpool. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the thousands joining us live and the millions joining us around the world, it's time to meet the players. Both players from the Netherlands. Firstly, would you please welcome our winner of a PDC title. Ladies and gentlemen, he takes part in his 2nd World Matchplay, the reigning World Youth Champion, the Giant, Gian van Veen.
And Gian van Veen makes his way up onto the stage with that typical Dutch music blasting out this Winter Garden stage, lapping it up. It is he who has the highest seasonal average of these two players, 98 to Danny Noppert's 95. But it is the Freeze who has come out on top in 4 of their 7 meetings, including their one in 2025, posting a 103.5 average in a 6-1 victory. World Cup teammates just last month in Frankfurt, now up against each other.
Ladies and gentlemen, a World Matchplay semi-finalist, the winner of the UK Open. It's time to meet the Freeze, Danny Noppert.
Well, Danny Noppert playing up to the camera there before his walk-on. Something we usually see, but we have seen Nico up on this Winter Garden stage. A bit of personality from him in the past.
Yeah, Danny's a great guy. He's hard-working. He is the epitome of a really good modern professional. doesn't say a great deal when it comes to things like social media. He's not controversial at all. He, like Van Veen, likes to let his darts do the talking. And you might think, just because they played as a team last month, and maybe this is a different dynamic. Well, it is a different dynamic because they're playing singles against each other tonight. They are not going to fall out tonight the way that Gurney and Gerwin Price did last night. This is going to be a very honest darts match. Only one can make it through to the quarterfinals, and whoever wins this one will be the first to make it to play against Nijman or Wade, and that will be in a couple of days.
Yeah, as we've already mentioned, this the most Dutch last 16 we have ever seen here at the Winter Gardens. The Orange match play, and for the first time ever, more Dutchmen at this stage of the tournament than Englishmen. And we kick off proceedings with two of them. Reigning World Youth Champion, of course, in Gian van Veen. And as Nico has just alluded to, these two very good friends off the hockey complemented each other really well at the World Cup in Frankfurt. What are they going to produce up against each other? I think one of the most impressive things for me, watching Danny Noppert over the last few weeks, in particular on the Euro Tour last weekend and in his opening match here actually, is we normally associate steady, consistency, solid darts with Danny Noppert, but his power scoring has been tremendous. Against Mike de Decker on the Euro Tour, had a first 9 of 123. As Gian van Veen, who won the bull, gets us underway in this one. But do you think we'll see that power scoring again from Danny Noppert tonight?
I'd like to think so. Maybe he's going to be pushed a little bit more than he was in the first round by Cameron Menzies. Unfortunately for Scotland's Cammy, he was not able to do a great deal right in a game that only lasted 12 legs. It was 10-2 to Noppert in the end. A bit of a stroll in the Blackpool Park. But here, Noppert using his quintessential kite-shaped flights. A little bit of orange and black on those. Here, Van Veen also wearing a black and white dart shirt tonight. Black and white flights. Diamond dusted darts he has. Very, very aggressive in the points as well, with a lot of grip. He leaves himself on 2.86 here after 9, and there's the first maximum of the match from Danny Noppert to get himself onto 163. So not able to leave a finish, but a really good sign there.
And Van Veen looking to follow suit. It's a ton 40 after a few trebleless visits to kick off this match.
Yeah, this one's first to 11.
Yeah.
You can win this game 11-9. You can't win it 11-10. You have to win by 2 clear legs. Van Veen did go all the way in round 1 last year against Cross, losing 13-12. He misses the treble 19 and he's 146. Not once but twice, but when he goes back up top, he gets a treble 20 to leave himself on 64. Noppert, chance to steal here for the first leg in 15 or 14, because 78 could be done in 2. He's got double 6 with the last dart to take it, and he finds it right in the middle of that bed. 15 dart break for the number 16 seed, and we're off to a flyer. And Danny Noppert is 2 on talkSPORT 2 tonight.
Yeah, really solid start there from Danny Noppert against the darts in this one. We mentioned that power scoring that has served him so well in the last couple of tournaments. He said himself, comes up dry with that first visit on throw, but he said himself, I'm feeling more confident over the last few months. There are more ton plus averages that I'm posting, and he just feels like he's returning to his best. Of course, did make the semi-finals here back in 2022. Back in the red bit with dart number 1.
He's got his name on his flights. Wasn't always so, but we always have a bit of a joke with these guys. You know you've made it when you've got your name on your flights and you've got your own range. Well, Danny Noppert has got his own range, and he'd like that range on the treble 20 tonight to be nice and tight. He's on 322 here with a 1-0 lead in the first game of the second round. Goes down south for 2 treble 19s and gets them both. He is handily placed here on 188. Van Veen's chasing already, Abby, on 305.
Yeah, this could be an absolute belter, but I think it's fair to say Gian van Veen taking a little longer to settle in this one than Danny Noppert, who's back in the red bit. 2 treble 20s. and he does fill it up to leave himself on double 4, his second maximum of this contest.
He was on a finish of 78 after 12 in the first leg. Now he's on 8 after 12. So he is improving. Double 4 for a 2-0 lead for Danny. He's just outside that double 4 bed in the top right corner. Clicks his own dart. Beautiful marker. Beautifully used. And Noppert is 2-0 up, and Van Veen is not getting a dart at a double so far in this match. He's just a little bit cold.
Yeah, spraying his darts a little bit more than Danny Noppert at the moment. Struggling to find his range, but Danny Noppert again with the first dart. Back in the treble 20.
We're going to have 2 breaks in this game, just like the first round, even though this round here is just a little bit longer. First to 11, like we mentioned, but a break will be had after 5 legs and after 10. Noppert is looking for his third 180 here, and he gets it. So Abigail Davies, you are absolutely spot on with the power scoring aspect, because it has turned up.
It really has. Gian van Veen responds with a 140, but looks a little perplexed at the moment. Gian van Veen just knows, of course, it's not time to worry or get concerned, but needs to find something, and find something quickly.
The first dart's better here. It's right in the bottom right corner of the 60. Second one's in the bottom left. He walks away with a 140 there to leave 102, but I think he'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, because of the way his darts land in the board, they are stackers, aren't they? So where that first one was positioned, perfect to add another 2. But with that 140, he is first down to a finish. 102. Noppy, though, with a steady ton down to 80 if Van Veen can't take care of this. Shot was still on after straying with dart number 1. But a little bit of a mess of that visit, it has to be said, from Gian van Veen, who only gets down to 60.
80 for Noppert. Small 20. Big 20. And now tops for another 5 visit leg. And this time he misses tops. So a chance for Van Veen to get into this game. He's got 60 left. And if he hits this single 20 like he just has, he's got nothing in the way of tops, which he hits with his first attempt. Nice recovery there, but Danny Noppert opened the door, and it definitely looks like Van Veen has got his foot in the gap, just making sure that he was not 3-0 down going into leg 4.
Yeah, 60, kind of the perfect finish, isn't it, for Van Veen? Like you said, the way his darts are, you know it's very unlikely that there's going to be a blocker, and at the start of this one, looking to make inroads on the Danny Noppert throw. Gets off with a ton. Danny Noppert did have that dart to make it a double break in that last leg, but just like in the first couple, needed more than one dart. Didn't have it, though, in leg number 3, and he wasn't afforded another visit to the board.
You mentioned the head-to-head record a little bit earlier on. It is 4-3 to Noppert. It's pretty close, considering Van Veen hasn't really been around that long in PDC darts. They've met once this year. Noppert's winning in that regard, but they've never played here before. So this is a new experience for these 2 teammates from the Dutch team of last month. Van Veen on 3-1-0 here. 140 plus would get him to a finish. Big miss on the first dart. Closer to the bullseye than the treble 20, but he walks away with a ton. And in this situation, it's not that bad. He's 57 ahead, Noppert on 267 with a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, just going through some stretches there as Danny Noppert piles in yet another maximum. Hit one in every single leg of this match so far.
Yeah, keep that going. You might not go far wrong. 87 left after 12. His position after 12 in every leg has been really good. 8, 78, 80. This time it's 87. That's a big 17. So what's he going to do with Van Veen on 150? This is a 50-50 call. Does he go for a treble 10? Does he go for a treble 18? Or does he go 20 bull? Next dart is a treble 20. It's aggressive. Now it's double 5. And that's the problem with going that route. He's missed 5s low, meaning if he comes back, he's on 5 to take the leg.
Yeah, would have to burn a dart, but it's treble 19. 2 treble 19s for Van Veen. Needs double 18 for a level game and a break. And he gets it. What a stunning finish from Gian van Veen. That was pretty special from the World Youth Champion.
Two things have just happened. One, Van Veen's taken out that 150, the first ton plus check out of this game, to make it 2-2. Secondly, it proves that Danny going for treble 20 double 5 was the right decision, because he knows his teammate really well. He knows what he's capable of. He's got himself off the canvas. He could have been genuinely 4-0 down, but now things are tied, and whatever happens, we are going into the first break with someone leading 3-2. But who will it be?
Yeah, Danny Noppert had darts to win all 4 legs of this one, as Nico's just mentioned. For that 150, and given how good Gian is on the bull, wouldn't have been surprised to see him go for 3 bulls there.
I'm surprised that Danny didn't get a 180 there, because he's got one in every leg so far. He's on 230. Van Veen starting to get that proximity right at that treble 20. That 140 from him is now his 5th of this first session. He's left 170. Well, that would be some way to finish off the first session. Noppert is going to leave a finish. His 140, that's only his 2nd of the game. That leaves 90 if he returns, and he now will.
So Danny Noppert led 2-0 in this one, to go in at the first break 3-2 up. Low on the treble 20. Can't find it with the second either, so it means it's the bull, and he's quite a way away from getting it. So Van Veen now with his opportunity to hold throw to lead. He gets the treble 20 that's required, double 16. Can't make it, back-to-back ton plus outs.
That is the first double that Van Veen has missed in this match. It may just cost him a 3-2 lead at the break. Noppert on 43 with a hushed Winter Gardens. He's always going to go 3 tops. There's his single. He's missed tops just a little bit high, but the line was good. The line was good on dart 3 as well, but that one was underneath. So Gian van Veen, 16 left to be 3-2 up after being 2-0 down.
Misses with the first. Is it awkward? No, he's edging closer with number 2. Can he guide it in with 3? Yes, he can. And having trailed this one 2-0, Gian van Veen, well, he shakes his head. He's still averaging below 90 in this match, but he's 50% on the doubles. It's Danny Noppert, who missed 3 darts at the outer ring to lead 3-2 himself. He trails by that very same scoreline. Blackpool, where the second round action at the 2025 World Darts Matchplay is 5 legs in. An all-Dutch darting duel to get us underway as Gian van Veen and Danny Noppert, World Cup teammates just last month, now go head-to-head. It's Gian van Veen, the reigning World Youth Champion, who currently leads by 3 legs to 2. But Paul Nicholson, the freeze Danny Noppert, has had darts to win all 5 legs of this contest so far, but he's just 22% on the outer ring.
Yeah, he's going to know that as well, and he will be frustrated at the fact that he is behind. These dart players are very, very aware of what's happened in the last 10 minutes of game time, because actually they've had 9 minutes and 59 seconds of game time, if you take away the preparation darts that they had at the start and obviously the break they've just had after 5 legs. But you can feel certain situations. You don't have to look at the score, you just know that you've had lots of chances. Danny's played really well in this game, but the fact that he was behind going into that break, that'll have felt like someone's been pouring salt on his tongue.
Yeah, it'll be really deflating for him given how good he's looked in the scoring phase. But all the talk prior to this match getting underway about his power scoring, that has been his Achilles heel, because we mentioned on the Euro Tour last weekend where he had that first 9 of 123 against Mike de Decker, missed 18 darts at double, and then you look at his round 1 match against Cameron Menzies, missed 17 darts at the outer ring in that one as well. So that has been slightly problematic for the freeze in his last few matches.
Yeah, he's not going to be having the luxury of missing this many doubles against such an elite opponent, someone who is very much on the up. Van Veen here, 301 after 6 darts, nice and steady when he comes back into the match on the stage after the 5-leg break. Noppert on 200 here. Van Veen was only able to get 41 points just there, so Noppert with the darts in the even-numbered legs in this contest. He'll be happy with 94 there. Treble 18 with the last dart to leave 106. He wouldn't mind getting his first ton plus checkout, and now.
Yeah, and I guess the one thing, if you're Danny Noppert, that you're telling yourself at this point is, my scoring is so good, I am going to afford myself plenty of chances in this match. So not to be too concerned about the double trouble. He's not going to get a dart at the back end of this combination though. Missed the treble 20 and the treble 18 subsequently. Does leave himself on a single to double if he returns, but it's now single 20 for tops for Van Veen and a Shanghai checkout. And he manages to pin it. His second ton plus out of this contest, and his finishing has been very, very good in this one. 4 from 7. The Shanghai 120 added to the 150 from leg number 4.
This game is like a Dutch tug of war. At the start of it, Noppert was winning. Then all of a sudden, he just started to lose his footing a little bit. And Van Veen is very much now the one who's pulling Noppert towards the pit. 4-2 up with 2 ton plus checkouts, and the confidence of Van Veen is starting to soar. That's his 7th 140 of this contest. What seemed a little bit uneasy at the start, Abby, is now becoming like a steady ship. He's very reliable all of a sudden.
Yeah, and that 140, it was another one that so easily could have been a maximum for Van Veen. Again, back in the red bit with a beautifully placed first dart. Goes downstairs with dart number 3, drifts into the 3 segment. But Danny Noppert in leg number 6, that was the first of the match where he didn't get a dart at double. And this second, well, he's on course at the moment to perhaps not get one in this leg, because Van Veen on throw, well, he's stolen a march. He's come downstairs and he's managed to pick off 2 treble 19s, and it's left him on a single to double, 44 points away from a 5-2 lead.
The way things are going in this game right now, we saw Noppert have a dart at a double minimum in every leg of the first session. He might not get a dart at a double in this session. 44 for Van Veen, and he's one of the best shooters at double 16 in the world. That 44 was taken with a 12 and a double 16 for a 5-2 lead. This turnaround has happened in a flash, and Danny Noppert has got that flash in his eyes, and he can't see.
Yeah, Gian van Veen has managed to drag his numbers up Now averaging around the 93 mark. Danny Noppert still around the 98.
Well, there are 98 averages, and there are 98 averages.
Yeah.
You think about Bunting and Anderson, who got head-to-head tonight. They both averaged 98 in the first round. They both weren't very happy with them. Noppert had a 96 in his first game. That was a typical Noppert performance, but this one here, he's playing better statistically, but he's in a much worse position.
Yeah, Gian averaged around the 98.5 mark against Humphreys as well. And he was pretty happy with that, let me tell you. But it's Danny Noppert looking to hold throw here. Ton 40 certainly aids his chances, even though he's not on a finish, on a bogey number of 165. It has left Gian van Veen chasing.
Interesting play there from Danny, because he didn't want to leave a finish unless he had a perfect visit. He's thinking he's going to have 9 darts from 305. He's right, because Van Veen on 216 wasn't able to leave a finish from his previous position. 2 single 19s here for Danny, and he's having a chat with the referee Kirk Bevins on this occasion because he wanted to check what he's got left. The second dart is dangling in the board, so he can't stay down there. Going up top to the 20s again was the right play. The small 20, not a great dart, but he is on a finish of 107 to get back within 2 at 5-3. Will he do it?
Well, and just as he's got himself down to a finish, yes, Van Veen is on 157, but the treble's drying up slightly for him there. Would have liked to have left himself on a more makeable out. The 107 not going to go, so there is an outside chance. Already taken out a 120 and a 150 in this match, Gian van Veen. The 157 not going to be added to it.
Yeah, it's good pressure though. 519s found by Van Veen till he's 62. 10 less for Noppert. 52. There's the 12. Misses tops. Wildly underneath by 1.5 centimetres, and then double 10. No closer. He was so far left. He was saying hello to the treble a little bit. 62 without hesitation here for Van Veen. He's got double 16 to get it in 3 darts to be 6-2 up. And that is lethal from that young man. Danny Noppert has made mistakes in this game, and he's paying for every single one of them. His Dutch teammate is making him feel very hollow.
Yeah, and that is 6 legs on the spin now for Gian van Veen. Only 2 legs of this contest that Danny Noppert hasn't had darts at double, so he'll feel like he should be the player in full control of this and it's so un-Danny Noppert-like, isn't it, to be 18% on the doubles but to be scoring so incredibly well.
Yeah, if he goes out of this tournament with these kind of numbers, we know what he's going to be working on over the summer, that's for sure. I'm sure, being a student of the game, Abby, like you are, you've thought about the prospect in the quarterfinals of a best of 31 match between Gian van Veen and Wessel Nijman, considering how well they played against each other at the Grand Slam last year. I think everybody would like to see that. Well, apart from Danny Noppert and James Wade, of course. But Van Veen here on 176 after 9 darts. He's the one who's scoring the better on the whole in this game now, even though he's got the lesser average. And Noppert is starting to wilt.
Yeah, Van Veen's starting to turn the screw now, isn't he, in this one? He looks the more comfortable, looks the more assured up on that stage. And it's Danny Noppert who is now chasing. For large spells of the opening mini session of this match, it was Danny Noppert who was first down to a finish. It was Danny Noppert who was doing all the running and making things happen. But now that is Gian van Veen, who wants double 8 for a 76 out. It is another clinical kill in this one. He is 7 from 10 on the doubles in this contest. Finishing from the gods from the younger Dutchman.
And he's starting to play with a little bit of ease here. He's not playing with any stress. He's going through a really nice rotation here of winning a leg, going back to the table, resetting, and then thinking about winning the next one. And with scoring like that at the start of leg number 10, who's to say he won't go into the break 8-2 ahead after being 2-0 down. If you've never seen Van Veen before, he looks like a very tall young man that you might see playing Dungeons and Dragons. He looks a bit nerdy, but on the dartboard he's an absolute animal. And Danny Noppert is the feast tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned being a student of the game. Gian van Veen is as well. I just absolutely love everything about him. You could see in the first few legs of this match, he was spraying his darts around, things weren't working for him, didn't drop his head at all. He was just going back to his table, going through the same routine, but you could see that he was trying to work things out internally. He has done that. At no point has his head dropped. He has just gone about his business. He's dragged his average up. He's now in the mid-90s. He's actually, for the first time in this contest, got a higher average now than Danny Noppert, whose numbers are tumbling at this point in the match.
His chances are tumbling as well. 3 or 6 for Noppert. He gets 4 19s and a small 20 just to get into the same vicinity as Van Veen in this 10th leg. 207 for him. Throwing now. He goes downstairs on his last dart after 2 small 20s. He leaves 148, which is the checkout that Mike De Decker took out to beat Dave Chisnell in round 1. You'll see De Decker and hear De Decker tonight on talkSPORT 2 when he takes on his opponent a little bit later on, Jonny Clayton. No favouritism from Abby Davies. 148 from Van Veen. He's not going to take it out. 2 small 20s once again. He's going to stay up top and try and stack this one over the top of it, and he's done a wonderful job of sliding that one in to the treble 20 till he 48 for an 8-2 lead. If Noppert doesn't take out 152, he's got to have this.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, and it's not going to go now because he's drifted into the treble 5 segment. When Van Veen had left himself on 148, hadn't really shaved a great deal off his score, Noppert had a little snarl on his face as if to say, right, this is my opening. He came up dry, only left himself on 152, and it felt like that door was shut in. For Van Veen, it's now double 16, misses the first outside, but can't slot one in between the single and the miss outside. So another opportunity for Danny Noppert on double 10. He manages to take this one, and it is now 7-3 at the break. Gian van Veen misses the opportunity to lead 8-2. A lifeline perhaps for the Freeze, but it is a long way back from here.
What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store.
Hitting the bullseye. PDC World Matchplay Darts 2025 on talkSPORT 2.
Welcome back to the start of the second round action here at the World Matchplay Darts 2025, where we have an all-Dutch darting duel kicking off proceedings. Gian van Veen currently leading Danny Noppert by 7 legs to 3. It was the freeze Noppert who made the brighter start to this contest, took the opening 2 legs, and in fact he had darts to win all of the opening 5 legs. But from there, well, Gian van Veen took his opportunity. There was a stunning 150 out, followed by the Shanghai, the 120. His finishing has been absolutely exemplary in this contest. 58% on the outer ring. And well, really, Nico, one of the main things that has contributed to this, 6 points Danny Noppert's average has dropped by in that second mini session from the first, and he's down at just 25% on doubles.
Yeah, you don't have to be a darting genius to figure out where this has gone wrong for Danny. He didn't get a great deal of chances in the second session just there, but he really is licking his wounds from not taking all of his chances in the first session. He could have been 5-0 up, and now he's 7-3 down. He has had a lifeline in that 10th leg, but curiously in this game, because this is a bit of a weird one. Oh, well, that puts pay to what I was just about to say, because Van Veen has just got his first 180 of the entire match. Danny's already got 4. He's not going to get another one here at the start of leg 11. But we had a record amount of 180s in the first round of this tournament compared to previous years. We had 169. We might get another one here from Van Veen. And he's setting up a chance of a 9-darter. He's only got 1 in his PDC career. Danny's got 4, but neither of them have hit one on a big stage yet.
Well, Danny Noppert unable to apply any pressure, but this is all about Gian van Veen. Gets the treble 20. Tries to go treble 15, but he is a long way off the target, as I'm sure you can hear from the Blackpool crowd. A grimace on his face. It is just 7 perfect darts. But what it has done is put him in firm control of this leg, which is the main priority if we're being boring.
Yeah, he's got 41 left here. Danny's done well to lead 1-3-2. Double 16 for Van Veen. Missed it a couple of times to lead 8-2 at the break. He's missed it here with the first dart, but not with the second one. It's not a perfect leg, but it is the perfect result in leg 11, because he's now 8-3 to the good. 3 away from the finishing line, and if he were to get there, it would be a first quarter final in Blackpool for Van Veen. Could this maybe be the tournament where he vaults his way up the rankings and inside the top 16 potentially? Because there's plenty of scope for that here this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Won 8 of the last 9 legs of this contest. And just as I was about to say, Danny Noppert just hanging on a little bit, a really crucial ton 40 for him. Van Veen a long way low of the treble 20 bed with dart number 1, but makes up for it. Great adjustment with the next 2.
Something that really impressed me about round 1 as well, Abby, was the accumulative percentage for doubles over the course of the 16 games. 43.38%. That is well above average. But the thing that impresses me even more is that Van Veen has gone up another level compared to that, and is making this 94 average of his look, well, quite ordinary, because there's definitely another level to find. Does he need to find it? Noppert with a 140 there to leave 75. Leg number 12 here on talkSPORT 2 at the World Matchplay. If he doesn't take out that 75, he'll give Van Veen a free hit at 153.
Yeah, Gian van Veen averaging around the 89 mark after 5 legs, has really managed to drag it up somewhat, but it's Danny Noppert with a dart at tops to reduce his arrears, which is what he does yet again. 8-4, the freeze now trails.
You're not safe until you get to the finishing line. These guys know it. For the first time in this match, just a little sign of, well, not tiredness from Van Veen, but a little wiping of the brow. The conditions here over the last few days have been very, very good. Have been warm at times, but not like previous years where it's been rather perspirating. Not a very good backup score there from Van Veen, though. Trebleless, leaves himself on 307. Only 54 ahead of Danny, who is still 4 legs behind.
Yeah, that last leg was the first since leg number 2 of this match where Gian van Veen didn't get a dart at double. that shows how dominant he has been in the scoring phase for quite a large amount of time, and he's just added his third maximum of this match to put him in control of leg number 13.
It's like he's been saving them for the end of the match. He's left 1-2-7. Danny needed a 180 to leave a finish there from 3-1-6. He only got a 1-2-1, so he's on 1-9-5. Van Veen has decided not to go for the 1-2-7. He's going to the 19s. He gets 3 singles. Not what he wanted, but he does have a guaranteed shot at 70 when he comes back, no matter what Danny does here from 1-9-5.
Yeah, and you feel the way Van Veen is playing at the moment, how in control of everything he is, it doesn't really matter what pressure Danny Noppert applies, because whether the freeze has been breathing down his neck or not, he has been so clinical. Misses double 8 after getting the treble 18 and comes inside on double 4. 1-1-2 for Noppy.
Yeah, this is a break chance as well. This might be exactly what he needs. He's blocked the 60 bed. He's going to persevere and try and bend it around, and he gets it. What a dart that is from Daniel Noppert. Looking at double 16 for a 1-1-2 and 8-5 down. That is incredible. That may just be the best treble 20 hit of this tournament. The first dart, Abby, just a good 2 centimetres short. He knows exactly how his darts fly. He can bend it around like Noppert, not like Beckham, and then a clean double 16. And things may be changing slightly here. The tide is turning. Is it a little bit too late, I wonder?
Yeah, Noppy had to shuffle right across to the right of the hockey to find his way through to that treble 20. An exquisite dart. His first ton plus out of this match, and as you said, we've already seen a couple of twists in this contest. Are we about to see another hugely significant one?
And most of the pros on the circuit would say that playing Danny is difficult for 2 reasons. 1, he's very good, and 2, you can't crack the guy. He's like a concrete egg. 140 there for Van Veen. He's bossing that statistic in this game, 12-9 compared to his slightly older opponents.
Yeah, it must be so incredibly difficult facing Danny Noppert, because if you're facing someone like Price, they're going to give you something back. But with Noppy, regardless of what you do, he's just going to give you absolutely nothing. Yeah,
he's part dart player, part Terminator. 207 he's got. Van Veen with that trebleless visit leaves himself on 164. A finish we haven't seen in this match just yet. But 8-5 at the minute seems a little bit perilous. Are we seeing the next wave? That ton from Noppert leaves 107, and he's just taken out his first ton plus finish. Van Veen on 164 is not going to take it. He's just a little bit too high on that treble 19 start. Accumulatively, he gets 64, so he trims down his score to the even ton. Noppert, if he goes back-to-back on the ton plus checkouts, he'll be 8-6 down now.
High with the first dart at the treble 20. Can't find a treble with dart number 2 either. So Van Veen, who shaved that 64 off, treble 20, found tops to break Noppy straight back, and that is exactly what he does. 3 ton plus checkouts now for Van Veen in this match, and that one, Nico, felt like a bruiser. That felt like it really would have hurt.
Yeah, that's the spirit smasher, isn't it? All of a sudden, Noppert's thinking, I'm going to get back into this game now. I'm starting to fancy it, and then all of a sudden, someone with a big lollipop says stop, and that person is Gian van Veen, who now has 3 ton plus checkouts in this game. If you want to take this to extra legs, Danny's going to have to win an awful lot of legs in a row right here. He's 9-5 down. Van Veen is thinking, get to 11 soon and make sure that I'm speaking to the talkSPORT network in maybe the next 15 minutes, because we will get a word with the winner of this game afterwards, and it will be available to view on our talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. If you could like and subscribe on that page with all of our people watching live tonight and everybody listening on talkSPORT 2 tonight, we thank you for your company on night 4 of the World Matchplay in Blackpool.
Yeah, we did see a little earlier on Gian van Veen reel off 7 legs on the spin. And it is he, the younger Dutchman, who's first down to a finish in this leg as well. Noppert tried to find his way through to the treble 20 bed for a double treble visit, couldn't do it, so now Van Veen with a dart at the bull, and he thought that was stinking.
Yeah, that was not a good dart at the bull, especially for one of the best bull shooters in the world. He's just pulled one brilliant face that would be likened to, I suppose, the likes of Les Dawson. He's not going to know who that is. 39 left for Van Veen, and Noppert's got nowhere near the treble 20 with the first two darts there on a 164. So here we go, a chance to be 10-5 up, single 7, double 16, just missed on the outside, doesn't nestle it in. Another wired shot on the left side for Van Veen, opening the door for Noppert to possibly be 9-6 down.
Well, they were very well thrown darts from Van Veen right on the wire, but Danny Noppert now can't find the treble 18 to give himself a dart at double. So Van Veen now with another 3 at double 16 to go within a leg of victory. Misses just outside with the first, just inside with the second. Double 8 is pinned, and it is now 10-5 to Gian van Veen. Just sticks out his tongue, felt it slightly there, you feel, but understandably, given what he's on the cusp of achieving in this contest. Still up though, even with those misses, at 43% on the doubles. For a match of this distance, that is mightily impressive. 5
legs in a row needed now by Noppert, the number 16 seed. It could be another seeded casualty at the hands of an unseeded player. But Van Veen looks really relaxed in this spot. He's on 401 after 3 in what could be the last leg of the match. Noppert, after a 140 start, then gets 97 to lead 264. Here comes Van Veen for a max. Right on cue, and now he's got 4, just like Danny has. He'll be hoping, Abby, that he's got one more in the tank and then possibly a knockout punch.
Yeah, it was just inevitable with where the first dart landed. Not be replies with a 140 to leave him on 124. Gian van Veen's first dart just low of the treble 20 bed, manages to pick off one treble. 1-2-1 for Van Veen, please. 1-2-4 for Danny Noppert. It is the Fries who gets the first look.
Yeah, he doesn't want to miss the treble 18 on the 1-2-4, but he does. And then he misses the treble 18 again. Doesn't leave himself a double, but Van Veen leaves 1-2-1 to win the match. He's got a treble 20. He's got a single 11. How's his bullseye this time? It's closer, but I don't see a cigar in here.
I promise you, he is one of, if not the best bull hitters in the world. Can't find it there. Noppy strays into the 5 segment. So has to burn a dart before having a dart at the bull himself. Bends the wire. Both on 25. Van Veen, though, to win the match. Double 8. And he pins it at the first time of asking. It is Gian van Veen. Dutch delight for him. He books his spot in the next round. He is the first player and the first Dutchman through. And it was mightily impressive, wasn't it, Paul Nicholson? To reel off 7 on the spin, having lost the first 2 legs of that match. And in the end, it was a professional and a pretty dominant display.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't know the word panic. I don't know what panic is in Dutch, but maybe he's got a dictionary that doesn't include that word. Because at the start of this game, Danny Noppert imposed himself very, very well, but it all changed when it was 2-0. Van Veen went a little bit bananas, and he really should have been 8-2 ahead at the second break, but only half a point between them in the averages. But ultimately, it was the doubling for Van Veen that proved the biggest thing. He had 3 ton-plus checkouts, including that really good 150 at a crucial time. He's going to be one very happy Dutch player, and his dreams of being a match play champion still alive very much.
They are indeed. The 150 that Paul Nicholson just mentioned, to go with the 120 and the ton. They were all at really bruising times for Danny Noppert in that one. Some excellent finishing throughout, 44%. He ends that match with. And coming up next on this Winter Garden stage, we have another Dutchman in Wessel Nijman, and he takes on the 2007 World Matchplay champion in the machine, James Wade.
Online on DAB+ and on the app.
This is talkSPORT 2.
Okay, thank you.